Every year, millions of people pack up and move, searching for safer, better lives. They're looking for better schools, friendlier neighborhoods, or just a little more sunshine. But what if you couldn't leave? What if your home was in a place so dangerous, so inhospitable, that simply existing there feels like defying nature itself? Around the world, there are communities built on the edge of disaster. From radioactive ghost towns to villages perched on active volcanoes. These are the 10 most dangerous places on Earth where people, against all odds, still choose to live. Would you? Our first stop is a place forever marked by catastrophe: Chernobyl, Ukraine. In April 1986, a reactor meltdown at the Chernobyl nuclear power plant released more radiation than the atomic bombs dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki combined. It was an unprecedented disaster. An entire region was evacuated, creating a 1,000 square mile exclusion zone, a forbidden land frozen in time. The city of Pripyat, once home to 50,000 people, became a ghost town overnight. Its iconic Ferris wheel stands as a silent, rusting monument to a life that abruptly ended. Yet, even in this poisoned landscape, life finds a way, and so do people. Decades after the disaster, some residents quietly returned. They are known as the Somosli, or self-settlers. Mostly elderly, they live inside the exclusion zone, defying official bans. They grow food on radioactive soil, drink water from contaminated wells, and live amongst the ghosts of the past. Why? For them, the answer is simple. This is home. They say that the fear of radiation is less frightening than the loneliness of being uprooted. They've traded one kind of danger for a sense of belonging, choosing to live out their days in the place where they were born, no matter the cost. Now, let's travel from the radioactive plains of Ukraine to the dizzying heights of the Peruvian Andes. Welcome to La Rinconada. It's the highest permanent settlement in the world, perched at a breathtaking 17,000 feet above sea level. This city is closer to the stars than almost anywhere else on Earth, but life here is far from heavenly. The air is so thin that oxygen levels are 50% lower than at sea level. Every breath is a struggle, and newcomers often suffer from severe altitude sickness. So why do 50,000 people endure these brutal conditions? The answer lies beneath the ice: gold. For centuries, the promise of wealth has lured miners to these frozen tunnels. They work in treacherous conditions, often without pay, under a system where they can keep whatever gold they find on the last day of the month. The city itself is a testament to this desperation. There's no plumbing, no sewage system, and no garbage collection. Rivers are contaminated with mercury from the mining process, poisoning the very water they rely on. Yet, the city thrives. A chaotic, lawless outpost fueled by the timeless, glittering allure of gold. From the thin air of the Andes, we journey to the Pacific Ring of Fire, to Japan's Izu Islands. This chain of volcanic islands sits on one of the most geologically active and unstable regions on the planet. Here, residents don't just live near volcanoes, they live on them. Life is a constant dance with danger. The ground trembles, smoke plumes rise from the peaks, and the ever-present threat of a full-scale eruption looms. The air itself can be a silent killer. These volcanoes release poisonous gases, primarily sulfur dioxide. When levels get too high, sirens wail across the islands, and residents must immediately don gas masks, even while sleeping. In the year 2000, the worst fears came true when Mount Oyama erupted, forcing the entire population of Miyokojima Island to evacuate. For 4 long years, the island was a no-go zone, shrouded in toxic gas. But as soon as the government gave the all-clear, the people returned. They came back to their homes, now covered in ash, and began to rebuild their lives in the very shadow of the volcano that had driven them away. For them, the connection to their island home is stronger than the fear of the fire beneath their feet. Next, we venture to a place so deadly that the Brazilian government has forbidden anyone from setting foot there. Off the coast of São Paulo lies Ilha da Queimada Grande. better known to the world as Snake Island. This small, unassuming island is home to one of the deadliest snakes on Earth, the golden lancehead viper. Found nowhere else, its venom is so potent it can melt human flesh, and they are everywhere. Legends claim there's one snake for every square meter. While that might be an exaggeration, the population is incredibly dense, making any step a potentially fatal one. So, who would dare go there? No one lives here permanently. The only structure is an automated lighthouse, a reminder of the last keeper who, according to local legend, met a gruesome end. However, a brave few still visit. Vetted and licensed researchers and biologists occasionally land on the island, risking their lives for science. They study the golden lancehead to understand its unique venom, which has potential applications in medicine. They move with extreme caution, knowing that one wrong move on this forbidden island could be their last. Now, let's journey to the absolute coldest inhabited place on Earth. Deep in the heart of Siberia lies Oymyakon, a remote village that has earned the chilling nickname the Pole of Cold. Here, winter is not just a season. It's a battle for survival. Temperatures regularly plummet to -50 degrees Celsius and have been recorded as low as -71 degrees Celsius. At these temperatures, the world behaves differently. Cars must be left running 24/7 or their engines will freeze solid. Metal burns bare skin on contact. Even exhaled breath freezes into audible, crackling crystals. Daylight in the winter shrinks to just a few hours, plunging the village into a long, dark, frozen night. Yet, a few hundred people call this brutal landscape home. Their ancestors have lived here for generations, adapting to the extreme cold. They are reindeer herders and ice fishers, their lives intricately woven into the fabric of the Arctic. They endure the darkness and the cold with a resilience that is almost superhuman. For the people of Oymyakon, this isn't a desolate wasteland. It's home, a place of profound stillness and harsh beauty that has shaped them into some of the toughest people on the planet. Our final destination is a town that has literally been wiped off the map. In the vast red landscape of Western Australia, there was once a thriving mining town called Wittenoom. In the mid-20th century, it was the region's only supplier of blue asbestos, a highly sought-after mineral. The town boomed, but it was built on a deadly secret. Blue asbestos fibers are lethal when inhaled, causing fatal lung diseases. By the 1980s, the devastating health crisis could no longer be ignored. Thousands of former residents and miners had died or were dying from asbestos-related illnesses. The government made a drastic decision. The town had to be shut down. They cut off power, closed the roads, and officially degassed it, removing its name from all official maps and road signs. Wittenoom ceased to exist. But a few stubborn residents refused to leave. They defied government warnings and eviction notices, choosing to stay in their homes. Today, the town is an eerie, silent ruin. The streets are empty, the buildings are decaying, and the air is filled with invisible, deadly dust. The last few residents live in isolation, a final, fading chapter in a tragic story of a town poisoned by its own prosperity. From the lingering radiation of Chernobyl to the lava-scarred shores of the Izu Islands, from the toxic dust of Wittenoom to the paralyzing cold of Oymyakon. These places push the boundaries of human survival. They remind us that our species is nothing if not relentless. We endure, we adapt, we rebuild, and against all logic, we stay. Danger doesn't always drive people away. Sometimes it forges their identity. It binds them to a place, because no matter how hostile the Earth becomes, no matter the risks, humans have an incredible capacity to find a way, not just to survive, but to call it home. Thank you so much for joining us on this journey. If you were captivated by these stories of resilience and wonder, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell for more incredible explorations of our planet. See you in the next one.